the Sooners, but Auburn trying to climb up the SEC standings and grab wins. Welcome inside KDC Show Presley Stadium alongside three-time OSEC selection, Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. This is a Florida group that has hit double digits in their last 3 games. Auburn's pitching tonight has to hit their spots, limit damage. That'll be a big key.
They are red hot right now. The Florida Gators have the ability to apply pressure in different ways, from consistent contact to a ton of power. They have 4 Gators in their lineup that have hit double-digit home runs. So for the task of winning, Auburn's going to have to be really good in the circle, limit free passes. So can they do that? Can they get back to playing loose and win this ball game?
Yeah, a lot of those double-digit hit nights have come from the 7th spot, in part from Cassidy McClellan.
Nothing better when the bottom of the lineup produces. Cassidy McClellan, 6 of her last 13, reached in 12 of the last 13 plate appearances. She has only gotten hotter in SEC play. And oh, this is her home run from Wednesday night, a tank into center field. Cassidy has been unstoppable.
Unreal production in the 7th spot. Meanwhile, in the circle, it's right-hander Keegan Rothrock, reigning National Pitcher of the Week.
Keegan Rothrock has been a staple for the Florida Gators in the circle this past week, gaining 3 national honors, or excuse me, pitching honors. 12 2/3 innings pitched, only giving up 1 earned run. She has been red hot, and this is the time of year that you want to showcase your stuff going into the last 3 weekends of conference play. Mid-high 60s. She's a flamethrower, rise at 2 levels as we've seen her whole career, and location for her is going to be critical. But what I think is going to set her apart is that changeup, that off speed that she's able to use and keep hitters off balance.
Her stuff's been stellar for the Florida Gators. Reigning National Pitcher of the Week, had her 4th save on Wednesday against Florida Gulf Coast. Here's how Chris and Kate Malveaux line out. Kylie Shaw, the Florida transfer, makes her return.
Kylie Shaw has been a table setter for the Auburn Tigers at the top of the lineup, hitting .374, but she is so disciplined at the plate. 5th in D1 in walks per game, so she's not getting on base via hits. She is probably getting on base via the walk.
15-game on-base streak entering this one. Tigers trying to snap a 9-game losing skid. And Florida, it's their final home SEC series, so their senior weekend, there are 4 seniors trying to send them out in style in terms of the celebration. Meanwhile, for Florida, we mentioned a half game back in the SEC standings, also trying to improve their case for hosting a super regional. Tigers trying to stay on the right side of the NCAA tournament. Right now, pretty firmly in, but also trying to help build that case.
Absolutely, and they're going to have to come out hot this weekend to be able to make that case, Ryan. Only won 1 series so far this year against Kentucky that first weekend. Like Coach said, they just have to get back to playing loose, get back to being themselves, and as I mentioned in the open, just execute under pressure and when it matters the most.
Auburn has not won a series in this building since 2005. The Gators have dominated the Auburn Tigers and coming off of a series victory on the road against South Carolina in sweep fashion. A brutal afternoon here in the Sunshine State. Umpiring crew, Stephen Gould is behind home. Chris Neighbors is at first, and Megan Rabin is at third base. Auburn in Florida meeting once more in front of a solid crowd on this Friday evening in KDC Show Presley Stadium. Fittingly, it's the Florida transfer who will get us started. Tigers coming off of a sweep loss to Alabama. Hoping to change their fortunes in the month of April like they did last year. Rothrock settles and deals the first. Takes a strike on the initial offering, and we are underway. It's 0-1 on the leadoff. Kylie Shaw grew up in the state of Florida from Estero. Mostly pinch ran with Florida on the 0-1. Shaw will take a strike. Rothrock's ahead 0-2.
Kylie Shaw spent last year at Florida, but did graduate early to come to Gainesville halfway through her senior year.
0-2. Shaw will take up and away.
This past fall at Auburn was her first fall in college. Coach Coach Malveaux has loved what she provides for this Tigers team.
Oh, 1-2 en route. Shaw takes low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 15 straight games she's reached it. 5th nationally in walks per game against Keegan Rothrock, who's one of the SEC strikeout leaders. A 2-2. Shaw fouls one off third base side. As the perfect profile of what you want in a leadoff hitter is reached in 41 of 42 games. If the season ends today, she'd have the 3rd best OBP in school history. Rothrock, a 2-2 on its way. Shaw will take strike 3, and Keegan starts off this series with a strikeout.
What a great way to start it off. That screwball on the outer half just paints the corner.
One away in the first. Alyssa Hastings will step up for Auburn. And Lipscomb transfer will take over the top for ball 1. An All-South Region first-teamer last year, the everyday shortstop for the Auburn Tigers. A 94 average entering. 1-0 to the plate. Low and out. That's ball 2.
Had some shoes to fill last year. With losing 7, Auburn had to go in the transfer portal and picked up Hastings.
2-0 to the plate. Hastings takes 3 balls, no strikes. Yeah, Auburn had to replace 8 starters, a really young roster. Have Destiny Rodriguez on deck. She's back in the lineup today after missing over a month with injury, but also some senior losses to the catcher's spot. 3-0. And Hastings will take, should say, experienced losses, as Hastings will walk, 1 strikeout, 1 free pass from Keegan Rothrock. And from that perspective for Florida, limiting the free passes will be huge for Rothrock if Florida's going to stay successful.
Absolutely. I think when you look at free passes, the conversion rate into runs, I think, is very high for anyone, especially when you look at the offense that these teams can provide.
And the return of Destiny Rodriguez, who takes ball 1 outside. Mentioned she missed a long layoff with injury dating back to the Oklahoma series. Went down with a shoulder injury. Was hitting plus 300 at the time. The Tennessee transfer, a 1-0. That's inside. It's ball 2. And she is a big leader for this Auburn team. Chris Malveaux had echoed that to us throughout the week. Maintains the temperature in the room, he said.
Yeah, and this is a player that the Malveaux have known for quite a while, with being a transfer from Tennessee and Coach Malveaux also being from Tennessee. So they've gotten a chance to know her over the course of her career, and she is that leader on the field, not just with her performance, but vocally, which is a huge part in how they're able to move forward and push past adversity.
Rothrock's 2-0. Rodriguez, strike, it's 2-1. An already young Auburn roster that's had to navigate through SEC play, and Chris Malveaux had said in the preseason that that was one of the big concerns, is the lack of SEC experience. So 2-1. Rodriguez pelts one into center field, few steps over for Shoemaker, and there's 2 down in the inning. But you're at that part of the year, Alicia, where freshmen are now in sophomore territory.
They are, and you know, this is the time of year, and I think really all year, but especially this time of year, nobody necessarily cares who you are, how many years of experience that you have. What matters is, can you go up there and do some damage, and can you execute, no matter whether you're a freshman or a senior.
David Roebuck will take a strike on the first. 17 of her 31 hits have gone for extra bases this year. She put up a multi-homer game against Oklahoma. Also did it against Cal. Rothrock 0-1. Finds his zone, works ahead 0-2. As Hastings hit first after the 1-out walk, trying to navigate out of this inning and not allow any damage. Roebuck awaits an 0-2. Fly ball into deep right center field. McClellan at the wall. Can't make the catch, and it stays in play. Hastings all the way into score. Head first is Haven Roebuck with a run-scoring triple, and Auburn strikes first.
This ball in the outer half, Roebuck just sends into the sky, finds the bottom of the ball, and this ball just continues to fly. You thought it was over off the bat, but just continues to hang. McClellan finding the wall, but just can't get her glove on it.
First pitch to Adams is a strike. Tigers on the road trying to snap a 9-game losing skid. Their only 2 wins in SEC play came against Kentucky on opening weekend. Adams faces 0-1. 1-1.
One of the biggest keys for the Malveaux are having a sense of urgency without panicking and just being consistent in the box. I would say that first run is urgent.
1-1 is low, 2 balls and a strike. Chris Malveaux said this weekend, want to be ourselves, but to go a little bit further than that, he wants this team to have a little bit of a swagger about them, confidence, go in not thinking too much about the opponent. 2-1 to the plate. Adams takes inside, 3-1.
Yeah, and with Rothrock, he said, you can't just have passive swings and partial intent. You have to go in there and have a plan, execute the plan. But having the swagger, I think, is 75% of the battle. Just having that confidence before you even do anything.
This 3-1 is guided into foul territory. 3 Gators in the area, and nobody can get to it in time. Count moves full.
And I think that's the difference maker when you're playing at an elite level. Everyone in the SEC is talented. Everyone has got that it factor, but can you bring it out in game mode? Do you have the confidence to know that you're better than the team in the other dugout?
Payoff pitch. Adams pelts it into center field. Shoemaker barely has to budge, and that'll retire the side. Auburn, off of 1 hit, grabs their first run. They'll take that lead into the home first to face this high-flying Gator offense. Leaders Taylor Shoemaker leads off for Tim Walton's Florida Gators, down a run trying to respond.
They're going to have to punch back early and not get behind in order to make a statement here, but Shoemaker is the one who's going to lead it off. Wednesday night went 2 for 3, the home run.
And in the circle, it's lefty S.J. Guerin.
S.J. Guerin is going to come in here. High 50s, low 60s. She's not going to overpower you with speed, but has a ton of upspin with that curve rise and that changeup as well. Is going to try to finesse and rely on her spin.
The Oklahoma transfer for the Auburn Tigers carried a huge load last year, has split that with Harrison. There seems to be an issue with the pitch communication device. So her first baseman, Emily Adams, will swap with her. Adams is also going to go get a new one, so everybody's pitch device is working. As part of the modern perils of college softball. Emily Adams, all-SEC selection over at first base, being an all-SEC kind of teammate. All right, let's get this bottom of the first started. Initial offering to Shoemaker. Clocks this foul. It's out of play. Taylor Shoemaker, originally out of Fullerton, second season as a Florida Gator, has been just as good, if not better. Average is up in the upper 400s. The hit numbers right along with it. Fourth in the country in hits, top 5 as well in runs scored. Coach Walton said one of the best hitters this game has ever seen. 0-1. Way over the top, 2 balls, no strikes. And for S.J. Guerin, limiting damage against this lineup is a huge key.
It is. S.J. Guerin, you know, we talked about her relying on finesse, a lefty, giving a different look, throwing in the high 50s. But what's interesting about her stat lines is she's
1-1 is all foul.
She's given up a little bit more hits to lefties than she is to righties. If you look at her ERA is 5.41 against left-handed hitters and 4.23 against righties. And then you look at Florida's lineup, who have 6 lefties, 1 through 9. So it's going to be a task today to be able to keep the ball off the plate and off the board.
2-strike pitch will even count.
It's not typically something you see from left-handed pitchers, is their splits being better against righties, because the ball's going into them as opposed to moving away against left-handed batters.
2-2 to Shoemaker. Gets a hold of this to center field. Womack in front of the track has plenty of hang on it. Caught a jet stream back in. There's one down. And so far, so good. Big first down of this home first inning. But now it's Jocelyn Erickson coming up to the plate, looking to make some history this weekend and become one of an exclusive club to hit 50 home runs as a Florida Gator. Only Kelsey Bruder, Francesca Nea, Megan Bush, and Lauren Hager have done it. First pitch. Cut on for strike 1.
And that stat line's got to be in the back of your head, whether you think about it all the time or not. And sometimes players can really press and try to do too much whenever they know they're nearing records or anything like that. But Jocelyn has been the exact same, just been dominant in the box.
It's an exclusive club of Gator royalty to cross that 50 home run threshold. Lauren Hager set that career record back in 2015, that national championship season. 0-2 to Erickson. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been part of a Gator identity that has picked up the last couple of years. Gators on pace to crack the 100 home run threshold for the 3rd consecutive year. That's never happened in program history. A 1-2. Erickson will take 2-2.
Recent years, Florida's offense has been booming. In the past, we've known Florida for the All-Americans they've had in the circle, and as of recently, they've been making waves in the box.
2-2. Erickson stays alive. Give a ton of credit to Erickson, too. Last year was dealing with what Coach Walton has alluded to being the ghost of expectations after that sophomore year where she set the Florida RBI record, National Player of the Year type of stuff. Came back last year, still put together a great year, but her numbers best of her career so far. 2-2. Erickson pops it up. Ratliff, late jump on it, but still got there in time on a diving snag. There's 2 down in the first.
And that's just good hustle, knowing who is up to bat, getting out of that catcher's box and hustling to make this grab. Really great effort by Ratliff. Even better effort by Guerin in the circle. Be able to get 2 pop-ups.
First to Cahalan. Wanders wide, ball 1. It's her senior week and last SEC series in this ballpark. From Trustville, Alabama, second teamer in the SEC at Alabama, having a first teamer kind of season at the plate. 1-0. Cahalan rips one into right, finds real estate between Walker and Wilson. 2-out single for the senior.
And that's one way to stay back on a changeup. Cahalan getting it done. I think it finds the end of the bat here, but does just enough by keeping her barrel even to drive it into shallow right.
Townsend Thomas to the plate. Crowd chanting TNT, that's her nickname. She's explosive. First pitch, stings one down the left field line. Back-to-back singles with 2 gone for Florida. Well, suddenly Florida has some 2-out production churning. Here comes Kendall Grover. The Eastern Illinois transfer, Coach Walton wants to see continue to elevate her game because it'll be important for their postseason prospects. Our first offering to her. Another first pitch hack. This one's foul.
This Florida lineup, aside from Shoemaker and Erickson, are just getting after it early in the count. You saw Townsend Thomas take that first pitch to left field, and Grover here just pull a screamer to the left side.
Guerin 0-1. Grover, off-speed offering, is fluttered up into center. Womack's over a few steps. And those 2-out singles will be left stranded for Florida. In the first frame, Tigers take the lead into the second, looking for another top 10 upset on this chaotic week of college softball. Four major upsets at top 10 opponents in college softball this week. Tigers trying to snap a 9-game skid, and they take a 1-0 lead into the second frame. She's Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. For Auburn, getting that kind of start, especially how things have been as of late, that's just huge from a mental perspective. Yeah, they're biting early, and I think that should give you confidence. They already knew that it was going to be a task to get some runs off of Rothrock, and they bit early, took their walk, and then Roebuck just hits a freaking skyrocket to the right field wall and gets a triple out of it. So it's got to, send some confidence to the rest of the lineup. Kayla Walker will lead off. She's got some power in that 6th spot for the Tigers, transferred from that other stripe of Tiger in LSU. Rothrock's first. Outside corner strike. And it's 0-1. Kayla Walker, 10 home runs amongst the team's leaders. Also leads in slugging and RBI. 3 grannies this year. On an 0-1. Walker barrels one up to Cahalan. There's one down. Kenley Cahalan, who's really blossomed as a shortstop this season.
Yeah, spent some time at third base last year, has since moved over this season. With a few innings still at third, but has looked very good at shortstop, very comfortable, helping lead this infield.
As Mania Womack on the first will foul this off. Brandon, Mississippi native originally. Mania Womack transferred in from Ole Miss. Co-leads this team also with 10 home runs. This 0-1. And one hops home from Rothrock. Keegan Rothrock only allowing the RBI triple in the first, enough to get Auburn their first lead. One. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. That's also huge for Auburn because co-head coach Chris Alvo had said that they had their chances in the Alabama series, did a good job getting on base, but couldn't make it happen in those situational spots. 2-1. Pelted past Camilla into right field, and here comes that hit production again for Auburn. They have another runner aboard, and these are the moments where coach said they got to execute.
Yeah, they're just going in unafraid of Rothrock right now, choosing their pitch, and Womack just smacks his ball over Comilla's head. Talked about the confidence aspect of it, and that's exactly what Coach Malvo's want to see from their team.
Ava Ratliff waves through the first.
And even on that swing, she was sure. I mean, it was a ball out of the zone, but her swing was very sure. Instead of realizing that, she didn't want it and check it.
Next pitch is a strike. It's 0-2. Ava Ratliff, one of the freshmen in this lineup, taking on a junior in Keegan Rothrock. Ratliff has struggled in SEC play, only a 125 average in league games. 0-2. Strike 3 taken. It's the second for Keegan Rothrock.
That's where you got to be better. That first pitch swinging up in the zone, that rise ball, then just let 2 strikes go. You got to be able to take the bat off your shoulders, but a really nice curveball by Rothrock to close the door.
Dago Wilson stares at his strike. It's 0-1 to the Orange Beach, Alabama native. Went 0 for 6 in the Alabama series. Has been thrust into a starting role because of that injury to Destiny Rodriguez, who's the DP today. 0-1. That's fisted up the first base line. Walker diving in, saves the day. How about the athleticism from the Gator first baseman? Crashes in, makes the snag in the middle of 2. It's 1-0 Auburn. Madison Walker showing off her defense for the orange and blue, diving in, makes the snare. And Florida will try to even it up or take the lead in the next. Auburn trying to win their first series in this building since 2005. Gators have dominated the all-time series. Alicia, so far, so good for Auburn. The bats have brought it.
Yeah, Guerin is holding down the circle, but it's the bats that, you know, I think are going to make the difference right now as well. Are they going to come in and continue to put hits up on the board? When they step into the box, they're looking extremely confident, which is exactly what the coaches wanted to see out of them.
Ava Brown leads off for Florida, 6, 7, and 8 for the Gators. Strike one to Florida's everyday designated player right now. Ava Brown, normally a two-way since being injured in late February, came back during conference play, has not been available as an arm for Florida, but has come back as a hitter. And she is still produced for the orange and blue. 0-1. Up and away, ball and a strike. Should say the brighter shade, at least, of that orange and blue in this kind of a series. Sustained a knee injury in the Cal game out west, but everything came back positive. 5 weeks of rehab earned her spot back in this lineup, in Coach Walton's words. 1-1 to Brown. Evades the zone, 2 balls and a strike. Guerin dispenses a 2-1. Brown takes up above the zone, 3-1. Of course, went through a lot of adversity with that injury. She has the phrase, "you are enough," on her glove. She aspires to be a mental health counselor one day, working with athletes who overcome major injuries, and wants to remind herself she is enough no matter what and no matter the circumstance. 3-1. And Brown takes strike 2.
I think that's such an important affirmation to have. I mean, be able to speak some gospel in yourself, especially when you need it the most to ground you. But Ava Brown is just an integral part of this lineup. And
Payoff. And Brown rung up for strike 3. It's the first for S.J. Guerin.
Guerin just looks really comfortable on the mound right now. That curveball just clips the inner half and gets Ava Brown to second guess. He's retired every gate,
Retires the lead off here. Cassie McClellan climbs in. Outside, ball 1. Her numbers the last 5 games have been frankly silly. The home run numbers are up. Is one of the best averages on the team in that span. Has reached in 12 of her last 13 plate appearances. Guerin casts a 1-0. McClellan locked up for strike 1. Well, S.J. Guerin, good start to this second inning. Let 2 two-out singles aboard, but evaded out of the trouble. One. Up and away, 2 balls and a strike. S.J. Guerin for Auburn last year carried a huge load, tied for the school record in appearances. Best ERA in SEC games this year, and come out for a conversation with the lefty out of Leander, Texas. That is Riker Chasen, who takes all the meetings for Auburn, former pitching coach at Ole Miss, and the coaching staff had echoed that he is very data-driven, and in this modern era with all the technology available, that can really help pitchers get an edge.
It can. The amount of data, the analytics, as you mentioned, that you're able to dive into and just continue to get information on your pitchers from not only just velocity, but from RPM standpoint to your strengths.
Also just understanding these Gator hitters who are as good as anybody in the country. Meeting adjourned at 2-1. McClellan will take a strike out of the chat.
And you talk about that data, and to your point, you're able to not only look at data from your pitchers, but you're able to scout on the other side of it as well and look at stat sheets, look at spray charts, see where the hitters are most likely to hit the ball the hardest.
As 2-2 is waved on for strike 3. Guerin goes back-to-back.
swings and misses I didn't mention. Really nice performance by Guerin right now. That changeup just clips the edge of the corner. She pulls the string on it and gets McClellan to swing through. She's looking mighty fine right now in the circle.
Madison Walker is up. And she's taking upstairs for ball one. Is from Kansas, was the former Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year, also a Chiefs fan, in her words. Played for a coach who played under Tim Walton back in high school. Cynthia Adams was a pitcher, first baseman, DP at Wichita State. 1-0. Walker takes a strike in her edge. Said that her high school coach would rave about Coach Walton back when she played, and wasn't really as applicable to her back then, but once deciding to come to Florida, instilled so much confidence that she could thrive here in this program and produce. Ball and a strike on its way to the Missouri transfer. A slow roller to second, right into that Auburn shift, and Wilson makes the play, retires the side. How about the start for S.J. Guerin, who's only allowed a couple of singles, strikes out 2 in that inning, and we're through 2. It's War Eagle who's taken flight. 1-0 lead. Another top 10 upset brewing. Auburn up by 1 over Florida as we go to the top of the third. Will be the top of the Auburn order for the second time through against Keegan Rothrock, trying to adjust and keep Auburn at bay. So far has done a pretty good job of that. 2 strikeouts first time through the order, left that single stranded in the second.
Yeah, stop the bleeding. Auburn Tigers had some momentum in that first, but Rothrock has settled in since. That's what it's going to take to continue to keep these Auburn Tigers at bay.
Kylie Shaw leads off for Auburn. And will take outside the zone at 63. Kylie Shaw, mentioned, spent a year here as a pinch runner, has blossomed in terms of finding ways on base. That has been her MO since the start of the season. Team's leader in walks and OBP amongst the others. Shaw sends this one high, though, into center. Shoemaker strides her way back to the warning track and puts one down. The leadoff spot is 0 for 2. Taylor Shoemaker, since moving into center field for Florida, has looked very comfortable.
Yeah, we've seen Taylor Shoemaker typically be in right field, spent every game there last year. This year, it's just fitting pieces in the puzzle. Different players. We got Townsend Thomas and both Cassidy McClellan in left and right, who are new to the outfield this year. So had some changes, some shifts in the outfield this year for the Florida Gators.
1-0 is hacked on, evens the count, ball and a strike. And that was part of the shifting and changing for Coach Walton in the outfield, especially with Ava Brown entering back into the lineup a few weeks ago, finding the right elements in those spots. This 1-1's in the zone. Rothrock's ahead, but McClellan effectively over the transition, moving from left to right. Townsend Thomas is now in left. where Shoemaker was the everyday right fielder. But they practice all of those positions. It's a very versatile Gator group. A 1-2. Hastings puts it up into the screen.
You look at outfields and you look at the orientation of them, a lot of decisions go into throwing different players in different positions, where their range lies the best. Can they go to their right better than they can go to their left? I think a lot of that depends on which side of the foul line they play on. And even their throws, can you create good backspin? Do you have better throws in right field versus left field? A lot of those factors do play in when putting different players in different outfield positions. Remember, even in my time, Amanda Lorenz came in as a center fielder, but Coach Vaughn put her in left field because her throws were better there. She created better backspin. Her throws were more on target. And she was the everyday left fielder for us.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hastings. Rothrock looking for the second out. Won't get it here, 2-2. If I remember right, Amanda Lorenz also played a little bit on the infield. And that's a long time expectation of flexibility, being just an overall well-rounded softball player. A 2-2. Hastings right back at Rothrock. There's 2 away. How satisfying is it to snag one of those as a pitcher?
I love it. That ball just right back at her. Her glove in a perfect position, but that's what you got to have as a pitcher, those reactions. She was ready for it as soon as it left her hand. If you're a pitcher, especially at this level, the elite level, you got to be able to defend. Mask or no mask.
Destiny Rodriguez fouls off the first. Rodriguez in her return flood to center field in her first at-bat. A shot in the arm for this Auburn offense. We've been without her for a month. One of the rare seniors. 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Transferred in from Tennessee. Spent 3 years there. Of course, worked with Chris and Kate Malveaux when they were assistants there. On the hands, and Rodriguez works ahead. Played in 114 games there and 2 Women's College World Series, the vocal leader of this team. Rothrock's 2-1. Rodriguez blasts this playable down the left field line. Thomas is in, and she makes the catch. That will retire the side. We will talk to the man right there. That's Chris Malveaux, co-head coach of the Auburn Tigers, is on the mic with us, middle of 3. His team is in the lead by Auburn over the number 7 Florida Gators as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, now joined by co-head coach Chris Malveaux. Coach, in that first inning, runner at first, RBI triple. You had talked about situational hitting in that Alabama series. What did Roebuck do right?
Yeah, I think she kind of stayed with what she wanted to do and didn't hesitate. And it really is good to get a big barrel right there and be able to get a run right away.
SJ Guerin, not your typical game one starter. What went into that decision to start her against Florida today?
Kind of just the way the last couple weeks in the dynamic of the weekends go. The thing that she does it really well is command and change speeds and keep people off balance. And she's it's not a look that you see every day, and so we kind of wanted to roll the dice a little bit and see how it worked.
Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck.
Appreciate it. War Eagle.
Co-head coach Chris Malveaux. Auburn Tigers up 1 RBI triple in that first inning so far is the difference, but 9-1-2 second time through for Florida can be perilous.
Yeah, I think Florida's going to have to make adjustments against SJ Guerin, but I love the decision to kind of go against the grain and start somebody different. Florida has struggled with off speed this year, so I like the decision to put Guerin in the circle to give them a shot in game one of the series.
Gabby Comia, first plate appearance for her today. 360 average. She's not left the yard, though. It's prototypical slapper. A 1-0. Comia works ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Over her last 5, did have 2 hits in the South Carolina series. He's also one of the tougher bats to K in the SEC. She can just find a way on base, could be a big difference. 2-0. Matrix move from that one at 59.
I would have tweaked something, broke my back trying to get out of the way of that one. Headed straight for the head, but Guerin falls behind on this one. That's something we've seen today from her.
3-0. 4-pitch walk to the Florida 9 spot.
It's not the predicament that you want to be in. Turning the lineup over like that when you've got juggernauts at 1 and 2 and Shoemaker and Jocelyn, the RBI queen.
Now into the tough part of the Florida order. Taylor Shoemaker steps out, fly out to center field her last trip. Had a homer on Wednesday to tie the game. That's ball 5 out of the zone between batters.
Comia's got a ton of speed at first base. Coach Walton says, the fastest person on this Gators team.
Well, Riker Chasen will come out for the meeting. And these conversations are something that this coaching staff has really liked about SJ Guerin's development, the level at which she's able to communicate and look through these spots and adjust. That has helped her grow, the self-awareness piece.
And I think that's so important for your development. Coach Malveaux said that Riker has been an integral part of that, developing that mental toughness, communication, everything in between your ears. But Guerin's story, I think, is really interesting. They didn't even anticipate her coming in last year and getting so many innings. They wanted to pitch by committee, but something in her just kind of flips a switch in January last year, said she was just tired of getting hit and kind of carried that into this year as well.
Shoemaker, a 1-0, blasts away into left field, and there's 2 runners on base for Florida. And Jocelyn Erickson's coming to the plate.
It's interesting. A lot of the times you will see Auburn in a defensive shift. The shortstop, Hastings, was behind second base, and Comia just completely hits against the shift, straight to shortstop and gets, Shoemaker goes against the shift and hits it right through to shortstop. And Auburn's not able to defend because of where their defense was playing. Roebuck a little bit off the line. Hastings, the shortstop, behind second.
A new pitcher coming in for Auburn. They will turn to Abby Herndon, the Ole Miss transfer, giving Florida a different look. 2 on board, and Jocelyn Erickson is coming to the plate. Gators down 1. New arm in the game for Auburn. It will turn to the lefty, Abby Herndon.
The redshirt freshman didn't play last year because of injury, but this year, coming in the high 50s, attacks the bottom of the zone with that curve drop and change. Still a lefty, so it's coming from the same side, but the spin is going a little bit more down as opposed to up that we saw from Gurin.
Brings in Jocelyn Erickson, 1 home run off of 50 in her career. She'll take a strike on the first from Herndon. Jocelyn Erickson, only 4 other Gators have hit that many home runs in her career. 0-1. Erickson out in front of a change at 49.
And the decision to change pitchers maybe stop some of that momentum that Florida has with that walk and that single. And I think Gurin might still be in if she didn't end up walking Comia to turn the lineup over.
0-2, barrel just barely past Wilson into right. Ducks on the pond for Florida with nobody out.
A veteran adjustment by Jocelyn Erickson to swing through that first changeup and then come back with another one and take it in the 3-4 hole, putting runners on all the bases.
First in to Cahalan. Bounced up the first base line. Adams lost it. Comia scores. Leaks into right field. Shoemaker in, and Florida takes the lead. This Auburn defense has been prone to miscues all season long, and it shows here in the bottom of the third.
And Cahalan says, I'll take it. This chopper to first base, I don't even know if it would be considered an error. I don't know if anyone got their glove on it, but does just enough to cause a frenzy over at first base between Adams and Wilson, and scores 2. Gators are up. If I'm Cahalan, I'm not mad about it.
Hey, runs are runs, no matter how you get them. Erickson, by the way, going first to third on that play. So Cahalan, they will award her a 2 RBI single.
It'd be easy to call that an error, but just no gloves on the ball over at first base.
And found the right part of the infield, so she gets 2 ribbies. Thomas up. Slaps away, out to short. Tough pick. Hastings couldn't get it, and Erickson will score.
Townsend Thomas has so many tools. She's got pop in her bat. She can bunt for a hit, but oh, she can slap too, and that's exactly what she does. Right to shortstop. You see the shortstop, Hastings, just pinched over to second base again, and Townsend takes full advantage of the defensive alignment.
Gators have scored 3 runs. Here's Grover. Showing bunt, and it twists foul, wide of third.
Things are heating up right now for the Gators. Finding any way to get runners over and on. And Grover, not somebody you see sack bunt a lot, but is putting one down, or at least attempted to, the first pitch of this at-bat.
First and second for the former 2-time OVC Player of the Year at Eastern Illinois. 0-1. Grover takes low and in. One of the 4 Florida seniors being celebrated this weekend. All of their numbers have been painted in shallow center field. Herndon in, trying to slow this Gator offense down. Second time through the order on a 1-1. Grover out in front of that changeup. It's 1-2. Desiderio, Grover, Cahalan, and Erickson all acknowledged in shallow center field for this weekend. Long-standing tradition at this program. 1-2 to Grover. It's pelted inside and tied 2-2. Herndon did not play at Ole Miss because of that injury. Top 30 prospect in the 2024 class. It's 2-2. Grover, a slow roller up at third. The throw is in time for a merciful first out of this inning if you're Auburn. It does move the runners into scoring position.
Productive out. Really athletic play by Roebuck to recognize that she's got to be able to throw in the run. As her only play right here, see her come out hot and fire it to first.
Ava Brown climbs in, trying to extend this Gator lead. She'll take a first pitch strike at 48. When she re-entered for Florida against Mississippi State was a really cool moment. The crowd erupted. It was on the heels of a go-ahead home run in game one of a pitcher's duel. So one. That's low and in, and ball one. She said it was the most surreal moment she'd experienced in her career. Really felt the love in that game. Said she texted her teammates after, said that moment doesn't happen without all of them. As one of the two captains for this Florida group. One. Brown bounces it to second. Take the only out that they can get, and another run will score. Florida's up 4-1 as Cahalan's played it. Both outs here productive, and that's another mark of a really efficient offense. Caston McClellan will step to the plate. Runner at third base with two gone. Way out in front of that change. It's the third time we've seen that full Florida hitter.
Yeah, she's pulling the string on that thing. And you know, one thing she does well, and as did Guerin, is tunnel that changeup with that curveball that they've got going on coming from the left side.
It's 0-1. McClellan takes in the basement. It's been a really good inning for Florida. The Gators trailed by 1 for 2.5 innings, a 4 spot in the third. Second time through the order has been much more fruitful. On the next, McClellan got fooled again by that change.
I think part of that too is Florida just overall in all the games that I've watched just look more comfortable hitting against velocity versus off speed. And yeah, she's coming in with a changeup, but her harder stuff is harder than Guerin's.
Got locked up, strike 3. Herndon bounces back and retires this side. Florida strands 1, but they grab 4. Tim Walton's got to be a happy camper. His team's up 3. We'll talk to him in the top of the 4th. Of Auburn 4-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning, joined by Gators head coach Tim Walton. Coach, trailing going into that third inning, but you grab 4 runs on 4 hits, second time through. What did you like out of the adjustments from your hitters?
Well, I thought we did a good job. Gabby Comia getting on base to start that leadoff inning on for us. When she's on base, we typically score a lot of runs. So really good at bat by her to get things going. And then, we just found a couple little holes here or there. I think that's one thing about our team. We're spray hitters. You can't really play us in one spot, and I think we showed that just now, just that inning.
Absolutely, and a lot of off speed today. We saw Gearin and now Herndon right now with that changeup. How do you adjust to that pitch that she's pulling the string on?
Well, you got 2 choices. I think for most of our hitters, they're on time for the hard and adjust. Some can sit and do a really good job of either sitting the slow speed and being able to sit on it as opposed and more of a an educated guess you're going to get that pitch. And then there's a late approach too, so kind of a third approach. But each hitter's just designed a little bit different. Coach Thomas talks to them all about their strengths. We don't really care what they do. We got to do what we can do and do what we do well.
Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Go Gators.
His group's at 4-1 as we slide to the top of 4, and Keegan Rothrock's retired 6 of the last 7 as well.
Yeah, Keegan Rothrock, that first inning had a little blip, walk, and then a RBI triple, but has since settled down and looked like Keegan Rothrock.
Haven Roebuck, who had that triple back in the first with 2 outs, will lead off here. And drove in Auburn's only run as she takes ball 1.
Last weekend was another turning point for this ace, Keegan Rothrock. And even the staff, when you look at how many earned runs they've given up, in Arkansas, they gave up 18 earned runs. Mississippi State, 13, and this past weekend against South Carolina, only 3.
1-1. Roebuck falls behind 1-2.
That's going to be the key to this Gators team moving forward. We've seen them get the job done offensively, but can they lock it down in the circle?
1-2 is plateward. Roebuck takes upstairs, 2-2. And Coach Walnut echoed that after the Wednesday game against Florida Gulf Coast, said we need other arms to step up and support this pitching staff. Keegan Rothrock carries a load, but can't do it all. 2-2. High line drive. It is into foul territory. Thomas can't chase it down in time.
What I find interesting, just in looking at the stat lines that each pitcher has outside of Rothrock, we know Olivia Miller to come in and close the door. She has no starts in SEC play, but 19 and 2/3 innings, which is more than Caitlin Oxley has, and she's the Saturday starter.
This 2-2 is into the hips.
And to add to that, her ERA is also the lowest amongst the staff, coming from the left side.
A payoff pitch. Roebuck fights it off.
So I think for Coach Wallen and Coach Stephanie Van Brankel-Prothro, just finding how the pieces fit in different matchups, and it's a lot of different factors that go into high leverage, low leverage, when to put who in and give them a chance at success.
Payoff. Roebuck wipes through at strike 3 on the drop third strike. The throw completes the K. That's the third for Keegan Rothrock.
Now batting the first baseman, number 14, Annalie Adams.
6 straight retired for Keegan Rothrock. How has she found a groove?
I think, you said it best. She just found a groove. I think she's hitting her spots, even in the first inning. I think she had that one ball that, Roebuck got under a little bit and put a good swing behind it. It sent it sailing. But I think other than that, she's just been doing what she does and throwing a good rise ball. Spins through the barrel.
1-0. That's fouled off, evens the count against Annalie Adams, Liberty, Indiana native. Auburn's only returning starter, recently moved out of the 4 spot. He's back up in the 5. Has been struggling in SEC play. 0 of her last 15 with 3 walks. 1-1. Low and in, 2-1. And Coach Malveaux had said maybe trying to repeat a little bit of what she did last year when she was an All-SEC first-teamer. Chasing those numbers, just got to let it play out. 2-1. Adams blisters this into center field. Her first hit in her last 16 at bats now. And Auburn has a leadoff or a one-out base runner aboard.
It's so easy to get in your head after a phenomenal freshman year, or even just the year prior, having a great year, coming back and asking yourself, okay, how do I continue to produce those numbers and just stay consistent with what I did last year? Those are all things that go in your head. That can contribute to playing a little bit more tense, having some more doubts. But again, like Coach Malveaux said, it's more mental than physical, as it was for Annalee Adams coming into her sophomore season.
1-0 to Walker. Fly ball into shallow right. McClellanson makes the catch, 2 down. Sort of a betweener there. Mania Womack would come up with a runner at first. Now, it was a 2-out triple with a runner at first that got Auburn on the board in that opening inning. And Tigers looking to hit better situationally this weekend. Have lost 9 straight entering. And the first is low.
And out of the 9 losses that they had, only 5 of them were within 3 runs. So only 3-run deficits in 5 of the last 9 that they've lost. It's been somewhat tighter ball games.
Rothrock a 1-0. Womack couldn't time it up, ball and a strike.
But also, when you look a little bit deeper into their stat lines, their team batting average coming into this weekend was .297, but in the last 9 games that they've played and lost, they've only been hitting .155.
1-1. On a strike there, 1-2, and Coach Malveaux said that they need a bit of a mental reset.
I think that's necessary, especially going into the home stretch of this season, trying to do some damage.
1-2. Fouled off. And that's the thing, you look at Auburn last year, the Tigers were struggling. A similar situation, first year under this coaching staff, but they caught fire in the month of April, went all the way to the Tallahassee Regional Final. One, two. Swung through it, strike 3. That's a 4th for Keegan Rothrock. Auburn leaves their single stranded. It's still 4-1. Florida Gators is in the middle of 4. Beautiful night at KDC Show Presley Stadium, home the 2-time national champion Florida Gators. They lead 4-1 over Auburn. 9-1 for the home shade of orange and blue, going against Herndon here, who, despite some damage allowed in that inning, gave up a couple of ribby hits, ultimately got 3 straight outs to end that inning, still keep this in striking distance, and she'll have a similar task here.
She will. The Gators came out hot, but she came in with a runner in scoring position and another one at first base, so hard task, and Florida took full advantage of Herndon coming in, but ultimately shut the door.
First into Walker. It's blistered inside, 64 miles an hour. Last time we saw Walker, she grounded out to second. Off speed this time, finds his own 1-1. From the Missouri transfer, spent 2 years there. Played in nearly 100 games with the Tigers. Said this transition to being a Gator has been so easy and smooth. A 1-1. Walker takes off speed, 1-2. Said she's leaned on her teammates, loves hanging out with them. Says, I've spent more time with them than maybe anybody else ever. There was an article originally published when she went to Missouri that had some struggles with that initial transition, but said this one's been seamless. 1-2. Walker blasts one into shallow right. That's a base hit for Madison Walker. It's her first of the series.
Herndon just comes across the plate and handcuffs Walker, but she's just so strong. She's able to muscle it to right field for a hit, but that's all she needs to do with the strength that she has. She wants to get her hands extended on the outer half, but does have power to all fields.
Camilla showing bunt the first. And the slapper takes low. That's ball 1. Now, Coach Walton said it in our mid-game interview that she had a really good at-bat in the third, working that walk, gave a base runner for the top of Florida's order, kick-started that 4 spot in the prior inning. Has a chance to do something similar here. 1-0. Camilla shows bunt this time, strikes, 1-1.
Comia is another player in this lineup that just has a ton of tools, can hit the ball hard, and also sack bunt and chop the ball.
Two and 1. And you need that kind of skill set out of your 9-hole hitter.
You do, to turn the lineup around, and she's had a stretch where she hasn't necessarily had a ton of production, but she continues to fight. I think with those tools, it's hard to slump.
Camilla trampolines one outside at first, 2-2.
Went through a 7-game drought with almost 2 weeks. Didn't get a hit in between their Kentucky and Arkansas series.
Now, you have to go back further than the last 10 games to find the prior time that Gabby Camilla has walked. 2-2. Off the short end of the bat.
And that Coach Walton talked about with Comia in that stretch is she just has got to make better decisions in the box, swing at better pitches, more barrel control. And last year, had some pinch hits. Defensive replacement has earned her way into the lineup because of what she's able to do.
Has become one of the leaders of this Florida defense. Now on offense, faces 2-2. High hopper, back up the middle, tough play, good snag, and they get the lead runner. That was a sneaky good play by the Auburn second baseman.
And that is good defense, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, the second baseman sees the trajectory of the ball, hopping over Herndon and changes the direction that she's going in. So when she is able to secure the ball, she can step right on the bag, and that's just high-level IQ on defense.
Foreign assisted from Daigle Wilson. As Shoemaker stares down ball 1. One of the nation's top hit producers had a single her last trip. Had her 25th multi-hit game on Wednesday against Florida Gulf Coast. Already surpassed her total from last year. 1-0 pitch. Low offering is grounded to second. Short way for the lead runner. And they get the out. Gabby Camilla wants a review.
Ruling on the field that the player is out at second base. Florida's challenge to the ruling on the field plays under further review.
That's Chris Neighbors with the announcement. Gators up 3, trying to get that lead runner to still be on base. Gabby Camilla was adamant the second she popped back up that they need to go back and take a look at this.
That's a tough play. I mean, Comia just with so much speed. In real time, it looked like she was safe at second base. As we take another look.
Well, from this angle, Alicia, she looks very safe.
She does. And you know what? That wasn't even a hard hit ball. If I'm Wilson, I'm coming in and trying to make contact.
Florida retains their challenge. They still have 2 remaining.
Gabby Camilla called it the second she got in there, said they need to issue that challenge. Tim Walton does, and he'll keep it after Florida wins it.
I mean, that's a close call, but that's just a case of not knowing your runners. Wilson, I think, allowed that ball to roll a little bit too much. Got to come in and charge it to get that out. Tag, maybe even go to first, but.
It brings in Jocelyn Erickson, chasing history. And she'll take strike 1. Can join a very exclusive club today of one of just would be 4 players to hit 50 career bombs and 20 single-season home runs. Also closing in on Florida's single-season homer record. 0-1. Slow bouncer gets past Herndon out to second. They'll get the middle runner. Erickson is safe on the unassisted fielder's choice. Will we see another challenge? I think we will.
Ruling on the field is that the runner is out at second base. Florida is challenging the ruling on the field. Plays under further review.
All righty, let's see.
Florida is just continuously finding the middle of the field and making the middle infielders work.
You know, Alicia, from this angle, I think the question is more, does Wilson's foot get on that bag?
You know, it almost looks like she recognizes that it doesn't right here, and then she shifts her foot a little bit in this next frame.
Now, it's worth noting that this ballpark has the Hawkeye camera system, which gives this umpiring crew additional looks, so they may have something that is more indisputable than what we can see on our end. So that's something worth considering as well, as this is being sent back to Birmingham. Well, this is what they're looking at.
You can see the bag kind of.
After further review, the field is confirmed. The runner is out at second base. The Florida's first challenge. They have 1 remaining.
Yeah, from that angle, it looked like Daigle Wilson's right foot did get on that bag, but probably closer than it needed to be for Auburn.
Absolutely, but you know, by any means at that point. But you could definitely see that last angle, how the back shifted from making contact with her foot.
A big second out in this inning. Erickson and Comia on base for Kenley Cahalan. And the first is outside. New single season and RBI and home runs this year for Kenley. Is top 10 in the SEC in hits, bombs, RBI, total bases. This 1-0. Cahalan takes the ball. It's 2-0. Started the year on a 32-game on-base streak. Has been one of the most proficient in just getting on base and has done that so far. It's 2 for 2 with a pair of hits. Also has 2 ribbies. It's 2-0. Cahalan lets that fall in the zone. Coach Walton said she just makes good choices.
And Erickson steals second base on that first and third.
She snuck in there for Jocelyn Erickson. That's her second steal. Cahalan grounds this into center field. That'll bring in Camilla. Erickson turns and it'll be plated as well. 2 more ribbies for Kenleigh Cahalan on her senior weekend. And the Gators extend the lead 6-1.
And how about the timing of that steal? Coach Walton sending Erickson the pitch before, and then Cahalan cashing in immediately for 2 RBIs to put Florida up 2 more runs. Takes this changeup and just gets out in front, but Cahalan is so good at just keeping her barrel level, so she's able to hit that changeup with ease even though she's on her front foot.
First pitch, a 1-hopper right back to Herndon, and that will retire the side, but Kenleigh Cahalan with 2 gone in the inning comes through, scores 2 more runs for the Florida Gators. Comilla and Erickson touch home plate, and it's 6-1 Florida in this renewal between the Gators and the Tigers here in mid-April. Grounds crew is hard at work as we go to the top of the 5th. It's Florida up 6-1 in Game 1. Tigers and Gators getting together once again for the 78th time at KDC Shoal Presley Stadium. And so far, so good for Keegan Rothrock. Safe for an RBI triple in the first. 4 strikeouts has limited to 3 passes.
Keegan Rothrock has been lights out right now. Auburn Tigers are just not able to squeeze the ball past any defenders right now. They've got 4 balls hit hard to the outfield, but ultimately 8 flyouts. So I think if they're going to make an adjustment, they've got to keep that barrel even and try to hit more line drives or ground balls.
Ava Ratliff leads off for Auburn. 8-9-1 in this inning. Outside on the first, it's ball 1. Keegan Rothrock, definitive ace of this staff, has had to deal with injury issues over her career, whether it was last year, late in the season, fighting through some bumps and bruises. 1-0. Ratliff will take a strike. It's 1-1. Also deals with compartment syndrome. And she's currently got 70 career wins. She's 1 off of tying for 6th place with the star off to my right, Alicia Ocasio.
You know what, Ryan? I'm happy for her. I'm happy.
What a great teammate you are.
Yeah, you know what? If she's winning, and this is the biased Gator in me, I'm happy, because that just means that she's doing what she came here to do and competing and being the best version of herself, and I'm still in the top 10, so I can't be too mad.
Hey, you're still firmly in that top 10. I still think you got a lot of real estate. 136 is the all-time record. A 1-2 to Ratliff. That misses. 2-2. She's got the plaza in left field named after her. When you win 136 games in your career, I think you earn that kind of privilege. Two. Slow roller right back to the pitcher, and it goes off of Rothrock's glove. Gabby Comilla saves the day. How about the play out at second base by the Gators' sophomore star?
The vocal leader of this infield. She's just so athletic. This ball just ricochets off of Rothrock, and Comia just comes and scoops it up to first, but it will go to Birmingham for a challenge.
So they will take a look at this. Hey, with friends like these, who needs 1 to 3s? Nice play all the same by Gabby Comia, even if it looks like Ratliff's going to be safe from this angle.
Yeah, she's absolutely safe. Good challenge by the Tigers, but I'm impressed by Comia's change of direction. Just she was going up the middle, then has to completely shift her body to come in and try to make that play.
So I would imagine this will be overturned, and Auburn will win this challenge. That was pretty definitive from the first look, and Birmingham's got the update.
After review, the play on the field is changed. Runner's safe at first base. Auburn retains their challenge. They have 2 remaining.
If you're Auburn down 5 runs, it's a huge break, because now if Daigle Wilson gets on top of the order, gets their opportunity.
Yeah, this is the situation you want to be in, and
we'll see an Auburn pinch runner come in over at first base. It's Georgia Lessman.
Pinch running for Auburn, number 5, Georgia Lessman.
A little bit of extra speed out there for the Tigers.
Now batting the second
Daigle
baseman,
Wilson climbs up to the plate.
Daigle Wilson.
Was thrust into the everyday starting lineup after Destiny Rodriguez was injured, is being called upon in this moment. Quarter swing at it, and it's ball 1. Has struggled in SEC play. Does have 1 home run, but 8 strikeouts. And 3 of those 7 RBI. Did not have a hit in the Bama series. 1-0. We'll have to wait a moment. One-0 toss. Wilson takes strike 1.
last at bat, Daigle Wilson got handcuffed on an inside pitch, and it was Walker at first who put on a clinic in foul territory to make a diving snag.
Rothrock battles back, works ahead 1-2. Two-strike offering. Wilson pops it up. Walker in pursuit. Made the catch on the screen, but it's a foul ball.
Walker trying to put on a clinic. This ball hit foul clearly, and Walker tries to keep the ball secure, but it rolls out and hits the net, and at that point it's considered a dead ball.
1-2. Wilson, right back to Walker. Instantaneous redemption for the Florida first baseman.
Now batting the left fielder, number 7, Kylie Shaw.
She atones for that one miss near the net, but really good snag over there by Walker. Wilson just can't catch up to the velo, gets handcuffed again.
Back to Kylie Shaw. Takes low and out, has a 15-game reached base streak on the line. The former Florida Gator was mostly a pinch runner in this building. One-0. Shaw taps it to short. There's one, and there's two. No, not in time, didn't get the foot on the bag. That looks like a sure thing at first base, but Walker can't secure it. And for now, that on-base streak is alive for Kylie Shaw.
It almost looks like this one fell out of her glove, and she tries to pick it instead of sticking the ball reaching, extending.
Beg your pardon, wouldn't count to the on-base streak with a fielder's choice, but all the same, Shaw does get on base. And so the leadoff runner is retired for the second out of the inning.
I hate that for Cahalan because that was just a really nice grab and throw over at shortstop.
That was a nice play, just didn't finish the double play. Would have been Florida's 19th. Instead, new life for Alyssa Hastings to come up with a runner at first. Kylie Shaw's got some speed too. Three outside the zone. Well, this could be trouble for Florida. You don't want to crack the door open for Auburn to get back into this game. Up 5 runs. 3-0. 4 out of the zone. A 4-pitch walk to Alyssa Hastings. Auburn is in business.
This is her second 4-pitch walk to Hastings. It's looking like Hastings might be her kryptonite tonight. Throwing as many balls as she is, but with 2 outs, still an opportunity to get out of a jam. Rodriguez does not have a hit tonight, but has put the ball in play to the outfield.
Rises high in the first at 69 miles an hour. Got to go back to March 13th to find the last hit for Destiny Rodriguez. Was against Oklahoma in game 1 of the series. Tim Walton will come out. This will be a meeting with the entire infield. I'll talk situational here because, like we said earlier, you don't want to let Auburn back into this game.
I think there's just a moment to reset. Got 2 outs. Just kind of keep her composure. That's something that Coach Walton has talked about this year with Keegan Rothrock, because this is her best year that he's coached her by far. Just her maturity and how she handles things, especially failure.
Out of the conversation, a 1-0 to Rodriguez. Inside, that's ball 2. That's 6 straight out of the zone for Keegan Rothrock. That breaks up the stretch for strike 1. Well, Chris Malveaux had said coming out of that Alabama series, wanting to see this team have a little more swagger and hit these situational spots a bit better. 2-1. Rodriguez clocks it to left. It'll hang up for Townsend Thomas, and Auburn strands 2. Gators find a little adversity, but get out of it. Middle of 5. It's still Florida by 5 in game 1 of the series. Of the 5th, lots of action here in mid-April in the SEC. Arkansas and Oklahoma, top 6 matchup that could have huge implications for the Gators. You got the Hogs pitching going against those big bats for the Sooners.
Yeah, the Hogs pitching. You know, Florida lost to Arkansas earlier in the season. Their only series loss, and Heron and Burnham in the circle, posing fairly good ERAs. But then you got the freshman Kendall Wells and Kay Minor hitting really well. If Arkansas wins this series, it could look really good for the Gators.
Yeah, only a half game back of Oklahoma. Alabama also right on OU's tail. So Florida keeps winning. They'll have Auburn this weekend. Then Georgia's their last series. If the Gators take care of business, there's nothing obstructing them, again, with a few Oklahoma losses and one Alabama loss. We're getting into that mix. Here's Grover. That first pitch is the ball. Grover will lead off for Florida, 5, 6, and 7 for the Gators. That rises high, 2 balls, no strikes. New arm in the circle for Auburn. They will turn to right-hander. This is Melania Tambora. The next home. Grover zips it to third. Nice snag by Roebuck.
That was just a frozen rope by Grover. Nice snag at third base. Gotta check her pants on that one.
So different look for this Gator lineup facing the Marietta, Georgia native.
Yeah, Tambora, not a ton of innings in her career, but a different look from the right side.
Ava Brown is up.
Gonna throw a little bit harder than the last 2 lefties that we saw in the high 60s. Excuse me, high 50s, but her drop is her go-to. So she will be throwing that quite often. Also has a rise and change that she likes to utilize.
It's 1-0, a high line drive. Look at that one go. Welcome back, Ava Brown, her first home run since February.
Ava Brown. We talked about how important she is for this Gators lineup. And Ava Brown just goes to town and smacks this ball in the pitching lab. It's a no-brainer, and she's jogging right out the box. Puts the Gators up 7-1.
Low and outside, that's ball 1. Now 7-1 Florida in the bottom of the 5th. Also for the Gators, with that home run, it's their 87th this season as they continue to scale the all-time single-season home run statistics. 1-0. Cullen takes off speed. Ball and a strike. Now holds 6th place firmly on their own in front of the 2009 team. They're on pace to finish very likely top 3 in program history for bombs. 1-1 to McClellan. In his zone, 1-2.
Coach Walton credits just the systems that they've created to be able to keep every hitter in check, understanding themselves and bringing out their strengths, making their weaknesses stronger. And that's one thing that Coach Walton's always done in his program, is not be cookie cutter.
Low, 2-2.
He said it earlier in his interview, some players can sit that off-speed pitch because they hit it very well. Other players, it's just not their strengths. They're gonna look for something harder in the zone, and that's just the way he approaches hitting in general. Is everyone has their own styles, their own strengths, what they do well.
2-2. Up and in. Counts full.
Now you look at the score, and this team is in run rule territory with only 1 on the board and only a 6-run deficit. They need 2 more right now to walk it off.
Payoff. Over McClellan's head, and a game-ending run will come to the plate. Madison Walker will be pinch hit for. Instead, it's Ella Wesolowski. Mississippi State transfer has seen consistent pinch hit at bats to give her opportunities in this lineup. Was an everyday starter since Ava Brown's injury earlier this year and has hit pretty well for Florida. Had a home run in the Tennessee series. Out of the 5 she's had this year, a new single season high. Wesolowski cuts it to first.
Not a huge roster, but definitely have some depth, especially in the dugout in terms of offense. You got someone like Wesolowski coming off the bench.
She is as hard-nosed as they come. 0-1 pitch. Wesolowski whacks it down the left field line for an out. It's first and second Gators, and the game-ending runs at first.
Now batting the second baseman, number 10,
Gabby Comilla's up. Tambora in some trouble. First toss, Camilla will watch a strike go by. So Florida, for the 4th consecutive game, is in double-digit hits. 7 runs on 11 knocks today. They are in a groove. Good time of the year to find it. Tambora's 0-1. Camilla sends it into center field, base hit. McClellan around third will score. Wesolowski gets the stop sign. Throw gets away. Wesolowski takes off, and this game is over. Florida wins it 9-1 over Auburn.
What a way to walk it off. Comilla, not somebody that you see swing away for power a ton, but drives this ball to right center field to score 2 on an error. And the Gators, their bats were just explosive tonight. Comilla, somebody with different tools. We talked about it, but here she just swings away on a pitch low in the zone. We talk about Auburn's shift. The center fielder just pinched over to left field, just opens up that right center field gap, and Comilla takes full advantage. Gators score on an error, and the bats were alive tonight, and Rothrock was virtually perfect.
Florida peels away late. Gabby Comilla fired up. She has the swing that ultimately ends the game as the Gators bring in the 9th necessary run. They have picked up double-digit hits for the 4th consecutive game. And lucky number 7, their straight wins in the month of April. Boy, how about it, too, for Ava Brown. Comes into this game and missed 5 weeks with injury and hits a no-doubter line drive frozen rope out of the yard for her first home run since the month of February. That's got to feel really good if you're number 00. Last came on February 21st against Lindenwood.
We talked about just the impact that she makes in this lineup. It was her home run this 5th inning that jump-started the rest of the rally. We had that home run and then that walk in McClellan, and then followed by a single and a double. I mean, the impact that she has, but the Gators just continuing to showcase why they're one of the best offensive teams in the nation.
We'll speak to Ava Brown in just a moment. Florida takes game 1 of this weekend series against the Auburn Tigers. Down a run early. They score in 3 consecutive innings, 4 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 3 in the 5th. Man, second time through, Alicia, this Gator offense just hit another gear.
Yeah, it took them a little bit to kind of find it. Their first runs coming in that 3rd inning, but they just didn't stop and scored every inning since. And 2, you got to think about the innings that Rothrock accumulated today. Only 5 innings. Keeps her arm a little bit more fresh throughout the course of the weekend in case they might need her to appear in a game 2.
So Florida takes the first game of this series 9-1 over the Auburn Tigers, and we're joined down on the field by Ava Brown. Ava, first home run since February 21st. How good did it feel to see that ball leave the yard?
Oh, it felt so good. I've been just trying to get good pitches to hit and really focusing on my preparation and everything, just trying to stay simple, and I finally got the pitch that I wanted. So
yeah, Ava, you look great. I mean, it looks like you haven't missed a beat. Just tell us how you're feeling. How's your body feeling? How does it feel back to being on the field?
Oh gosh, it was like a kid on Christmas morning when Coach Wallen told me I got to put my uniform back on. That was the day I was looking forward to ever since I got hurt. So just really trying to trust my trainers and all the things that we've done to get through this, all the physical therapy, and really rely on my teammates. They never made me feel isolated or any different from them from the moment that I got hurt until now. And then being able to feel all the love from them and the fans and just all the support has been amazing. So it's been awesome.
7 straight win for this group. How have you guys been able to sustain success?
Really just focusing on our relationships in the locker room. We do a lot of individualized stuff. We do team dinners. We do just a lot of things to try and keep the camaraderie off the field really tight. So to keep continuing to sharpen those qualities and really lock in and keep the motivation. Getting into this part of the season, it can get tough. So trying to stay together and really lock in for senior weekend, really celebrating the seniors and then getting through the rest of SEC play.
Ava, thank you for the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Go Gators.
Ava Brown, her first home run tonight in a run rule victory over the Auburn Tigers. For our entire crew tonight, led by Jeremy Otter alongside Alicia Ocasio, I'm Ryan Urquhart. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock as the Gators try to take the series over Auburn. Tonight, it's all Florida, 9-1 in Game 1. They celebrate with a victory.